So, good morning, students. In the last lectures, we have studied about the roadways, railways, and pipelines from the chapter 7th of Geography 10th Standard, Lifelines of National Economy. Okay, and in that we have seen the roadways, their advantages, disadvantages, railways, their advantages and disadvantages, pipelines, its advantages, and how it is growing. Okay, nowadays this has been preferred more. Today we will see what airways. Okay, we are going to study about the waterways and the airways. Okay, so I hope you have the textbooks with you. So we start waterways, seaports, and airways. So waterways are considered to be one of the cheapest mode of transport. This we have already learned. It can facilitate the transport of bulky goods in an eco-friendly manner while retaining fuel efficiency. India's been a seafaring nation since ancient times. Today, it has an inland waterways network of about 14,500 kilometers in length. Okay, so it's a quite large area. Now you you can read through the national waterways list given on page number 85. We are going to do it later. Okay. So now about 68% of India's trade economy is dependent upon waterways. So though we have a large coastline and like the national ways are there, but only 68% of it is useful for their trading purpose. So foreign trade is functional along the coastal seaports. Let's study a little bit about them. Now let us see the seaports, major seaports we are going to see. There are about 12 major and 200 minor seaports in India. With this you can observe on page number 87 as said in the PPT. Now Kandla in Kutch was the first port to develop in independent India. It was developed to redistribute Mumbai's trade load. So Mumbai was the port through which all different foreign countries were coming in and trading down लाइक वहाँ से सब सामान आता था ठीक है and there was a stress on it. So to distribute the stress, Kandla was developed in the independent port. Okay. Now here one more thing is important is that you need to observe the map on page number 87 and you need to mark it in your Indian political map, also known as Deen Dayal Port. This is a tidal port, that is water levels aren't controlled by but dependent upon the ocean tides. It primarily caters to the industrial and granary belt stretching from Jammu and Kashmir to Gujarat. So you need to know where exactly the Kandla port is. The next is the Mumbai port. It is the biggest port in India. It has a natural and spacious harbor, as we all know. Okay. To further reduce the load of this port, the Jawaharlal Nehru port was established too. So Mumbai port was like uh, very busy port. Many of the countries from the west brought their goods from the Mumbai port. So it was very burdened. So to reduce the burden, firstly the Kandla port was undeveloped, and after that, though it was distributed, still it was burdened. So again now the Jawaharlal Nehru port was established to lower the burden. Okay, to reduce the load. Again, you need to know where exactly the Mumbai port is. Okay. The Mamaranga Port in Goa and the New Mangalore Port in Karnataka primarily cater to India's iron ore export. Iron ore जो export होता है वो ये this two ports are important for the iron ore export. That is Mamaranga Port in Goa and New Mangalore Port in Karnataka. So Mamaranga itself is responsible for 50% of India's export of iron ore. So वहाँ से 50% जो आयन है वो मामरागांव इन गोवा वहाँ से एक्सपोर्ट होता है. So you also need to understand and locate where they are. The Tuticorin port in Tamil Nadu has a natural harbour and a rich hinterland, that is the area leading to the interiors from the coast. Due to this, it carries out flourishing trade on the international front as well. So because of the international exchange, this port is important. You need to locate this. Now, ports in south, the Chennai port is the second in size to Mumbai and is one of the largest artificial port. So if they ask one of the largest artificial port, it is Chennai port, and it is the second in size. So first big sized or size port is Mumbai, and the second is Chennai. Vishakhapatnam is a landlocked and thus a well protected port. It was originally meant to be another iron ore exporting port. The Paradip port in Odisha exports iron ore. So on west side, which are the ports which are exporting iron ore, and on the east side, you need to differentiate, understand, and um, memorize it. Okay, the Kolkata port thrives on the hinterland of the Ganges and is a tidal port. So tidal ports अगर एग्जाम में आया कि locate the tribal ports, so you should understand which ports are there. Now you know the tidal ports also. So to redistribute the trade pressures on Kolkata, the Haldia port came up. ओके तो मुंबई का किसने शेयर किया प्रेशर और यहाँ पे किसने किया ईस्ट साइड पे किसने किया वेस्ट साइड पे किसने किया रिमेंबर दैट ओके नाउ we'll go with the airways. Almost all of us prefer air transport today for its convenience and speed. So these are the advantages of the airways. Geographical terrains are of no hindrance to this mode of transport since it transfers them all. Think of the places you have easily visited due to the existence of flight. Can you think of ways in which air travel has brought India and the world closer? Okay, I hope you got the answer for the question. Let's go ahead. Air India is our nationalized vehicle of air transport. It came to be in existence in the year 1953, so soon after the independence, you can say. The Pawan Hans Helicopters Limited has been instrumental in connecting the oil and natural gas corporation in remote, inaccessible areas to the rest of the country. Now, the map marking. So, now we have seen the waterways, we are going to see the airports. Okay, so look at the map on page number 87. Again the same map. Okay, the same map has the seaports as well as airports. So we see the major seaports. Now let us look at the international airports. We are seeing the only the international airports. Domestic airports are not shown in this map. Okay, so be very clear with this idea. Now locate the following places on the map and then mark them in your own map copies too. Please do follow this. Okay, so the first one from the north we start from the first one is Amritsar, which is also named like Amritsar is the city where it is located, and the name of that airport is Raja Sansi. Okay, in Delhi it is Indira Gandhi International Airport. Then in Mumbai it is Chhatrapati Shivaji Airport. In Chennai it is Meenam Bakkam Airport, and in Kolkata it is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Airport. In Hyderabad it is Rajiv Gandhi Airport. So you need to know place and the name of the airport also. It can come for your objectives also. So be very particular about it. Okay. Now your diary entry says that you need to read from page number 83. That is the section of uh, Airways. The beginning of section Airways till the end of the section Airways on page number 86. Okay, fine. So this was about your diary entries. Now we will go to the textbook. We will read the textbook. Okay. Please do not skip reading the textbook at home. Don't avoid or overlook the diary entries because that will be helpful to score good marks, good objective marks, as well as you come to know what is the sequence or like what topics are included in detail. So please do follow the diary entries at home also. Waterways. Since the ancient period, India was one of the seafaring countries. Its seamen sailed far and near, thus carrying and spreading Indian commerce and culture. Waterways are the cheapest means of transport. They are most suitable for carrying heavy and bulky goods. It is a fuel efficient and environment friendly mode of transport. So, if there is a short note on waterways, you need to write the entire paragraph. Okay. India, even you have to include this. India has inland navigation waterways of 14,500 kilometers in length. Out of these, only 5,685 kilometers are navigable by the mechanized vehicles. Mechanized means which are running on the motor boats जो हम बोलते हैं. Okay, so those. So you can see only one third, nearly one third area we are, or the waterways we are using. Okay, the following waterways have been declared as the national waterways of the government. तो यहाँ पे नहीं आपको अगर मैंने बोला शॉर्ट नोट आई है waterways पे तो you have to include till mechanized vessels. Okay. Okay, so the national, even you need to remember these, the important waterways. Okay, they need ports just like airports. Okay, okay. The Ganga River between Allahabad and Haldia, that is 1,620 kilometers. That is the first national waterways, national waterway number one. Now for national highways, that is for roadways, we say NH. Here we write NW, that is national waterways number one. So Ganga River, this is between Allahabad and Haldia. The Brahmaputra River between Sadia and Dubri, that is 891 kilometers. That is the national waterway 2. And then the West Coast Canal in Kerala, Kottapuram, Kollam, then Udyog Mandal and Champakara canals. Okay, that those the length is 205 kilometers. That is the national airway number 3. Okay, then specified stretches of Godavari and Krishna rivers along with Kakinanda uh, Puducherry stretch of canals 78 kilometers. That is national waterways number 4. Specified stretches of river Brahmani along the Matai river delta canals of Mahanandi and Brahmini rivers and the East Coast Canal, that is the length is 588 kilometers, that is national waterway number 5. So now there are some other inland waterways on which substantial transportation takes place. These are Mandvi, Jauri and Kumberja, Sundarbans, Barak and backwaters of Kerala. Now, apart from these, India's trade with foreign countries is carried from the ports located along the coast. So, 95% of the country's trade volume that is 68% in terms of value is moved by sea. So now the major ports we are going to see. We've already learned about it, but we'll just quickly go through it. So with a long coastline of 7.516.6 kilometers, India is dotted with well major and 200 notified non-major, that is minor or intermediate ports. These major ports handle 95% of India's uh, foreign trade. So the waterways, okay, national waterways are very important. Kandla in Kutch was the first port developed soon after independence to ease the volume of trade on the Mumbai port. In the wake of loss of Karachi port to Pakistan after the partition, Kandla was also known as Deen Dayal Port is a tidal port. It caters to the convenient handling of export and import of high productive granary and industrial stretch belt stretching across the states of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. Mumbai is the biggest port with a spacious, natural, and well sheltered harbour. The Jawaharlal Nehru Port was planned with a view decongest the Mumbai port and serve as a hub port for this region. So, Mamaranga Port in Goa is the primary uh, yeah, is the primary ore exporting port of the country. This port accounts for about 50% of India's iron ore export. New Mangalore port, located in Karnataka, caters to the export of iron ore concentrates from Kudremukh mines. Kochi is the extreme southwestern port, located at the entrance of a lagoon with a natural harbor. So, students, here I would like to ask you, what is a lagoon? है फ्रेश वाटर लेक नहीं है वो. सो ये जो वाटर वेव्स होते हैं वो डैश करते हैं एंड द लैंड mass of land or piece of land gets separated and a parallel water body is formed, that is a lagoon. Okay, got it. So okay, fine, great. How इरोजन होता है ना, वाटर इरोजन देखा है ना, हमने पढ़ा है ना सेवेंथ में. हम्म, ठीक है. नाउ कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन द टेक्स्ट बुक. ओके. हाँ. Moving along the east coast, you should see the extreme southeast port of uh, Korain in Tamil Nadu. Okay. This port has a natural harbor and rich hinterland. Thus, it has a flourishing trade handling of a large variety of cargoes to even our neighboring countries like Sri Lanka, Maldives, etc., and the coastal region of India. Chennai is one of the oldest artificial port of the country. It is ranked next to Mumbai in terms of the volume of trade and cargo. Visakhapatnam is the deepest landlocked and well protected port. This port was originally conceived as an outlet for iron ore exports. Paradweep Port, located in Odisha, specializes in the export of iron ore. Kolkata is, is an inland waterine, riverine port. This port serves a very large and rich hinterland of Ganga Brahmaputra basin. Being a tidal port, it requires constant dredging of Hooghly. Haldia Port was developed as a subsidiary port in order to relieve growing pressure on the Kolkata port. Now we will see the airways. Okay. The air travel today is the fastest but comfortable and prestigious mode of transport. This can be asked for the fill in the blanks. Okay. So Please, if you have the textbook, or you can make a note of the sentence or mark it as for fill in the blank. It can cover very difficult terrain like high mountains, dreary deserts, dense forests, and also long oceanic stretches with great ease. Think of the northeastern part of the country, marked with the presence of big rivers, dissected relief, dense forest, and frequent floods and international frontiers, etc. In the absence of airports, air travel has made access easier. The air transport was nationalized in 1953. Air India provides domestic and international air services. Pawan Hans Helicopter Limited Helicopters Limited provide helicopter service to oil and natural gas corporation in its offshore operations to inaccessible areas and difficult terrains like the northeast eastern states and in the interior parts of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Okay, find out the name of the country connected by in Air India. Okay, so all the countries you need to find this. Okay, so this can also come as an objective question. So air travel is not within the reach of the common people. It is only in the northeast states that special provisions are made to extend the services to the common people. Okay, so here whatever today's portion we have covered that. If you have any difficulties, let me know.
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.